It is match day Wednesday, and Austin FC are taking on Chicago Fire in the round of 16 of the US Open Cup. Both teams are playing against each other for the first time in club history, but right before this match even happened, they had to play their two respective matches. Austin FC had to play against UMax United as they beat in advance by the score of 2-0 from the goals of Ronnie Redis and Max Hiruti, but for Chicago Fire, they've been here the longest in Austin FC by playing 2 games. Chicago Fire beat lower division team Chicago House in a 3-0 score, and right before the Austin FC match, they played St. Louis as they beat St. Louis City in a 2-1 score. And after this game happened, both teams were put in the central pot with alongside Minnesota United and Houston Dynamo, but luckily Austin FC got to play Chicago Fire, and this match is happening today. Chicago Fire is a 4-time US Open Cup champions or winners, winning it back in 1998, 2000, 2003, and 2006. 2006 was the last time they won it. But for Chicago Fire, 1998 was a real special year for them, as they consider that as their golden age or golden era season, as they also won the 1998 MLS Cup. So considering both MLS Cup and US Open Cup, they would consider that as their double season. Also, that was the team where Josh Wolf started playing, was with Chicago Fire, also with the likes of a young Jesse Marsch and Jorge Campos. But like I said, both teams are respectively in their MLS conferences, Austin FC and Western, and Chicago Fire and Eastern Conference team. For Austin FC, they sit 9th place. Chicago Fire sit 14th place in the Eastern Conference. So we know what it's like to be, we know the pain for Chicago Fire being second to last place in your own conference. But right before this match, both teams have to play out their own games. Austin FC beat in a really, really boring but yet promising game against Toronto FC in a 1-0 score. But for Chicago Fire, they had to have a really interesting and crazy draw against Atlanta United in a 3-3 score. But today, it is the day we play against Chicago Fire. So what does Austin FC need to do and focus against the Chicago team? Well, they scored 5 goals and allowed 1 goal in this US Open Cup edition. 4 players who provide a lot of support and attack for Chicago are these 4 players. One of them is Brian Gutierrez, who's a midfield player, an academy player from Chicago. He has done 3 assists in the MLS and can provide a good accurate passing rate of 79%. Kai Kamara, we know who he is. He's really tall, can be really impressive number 9, really center forward, also MLS veteran, alongside with Jazzy Zardes, Max Hiruti, and Will Bruin. But when it comes to Kai Kamara, he does the finishing right. He can stand there in the box, roaming around for something to happen. A good aerial cross and boom, hits it in or kicks it in. He has his goal. He does the finishing right. Another player, I'm going to do my best to say his name. It is Kasper Presibalko, who has done 3 goals and 2 assists with Chicago Fire. And the DP player, we all know who he is, who played with Inter Milan, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, and I believe FC Basel. It is Xherdan Shaqiri, the man who is also bigger caps than mine. He's a midfield player who can provide that or invert as a winger. Most likely he's more comfortable on the right side. And what his benefit is his finishing and his dribbling. So whoever faces Shaqiri, there has to be Nick Lima or Hector Jimenez, but I would like to see Nick Lima play against Shaqiri because both are the same height and have the same body structure. So it's going to be a really interesting lineup against, Nick Lima and Shaqiri. But for Austin FC's defense, what exactly we're going to put out? A back 5 or back 4? The back 4 worked out great against Toronto FC. It took some time to develop what it's like to have 2 wing-back players of John Gallagher back on the left side and Nick Lima on the right back side or right wing back, because Nick Lima was the more bigger threat in that side. The way he played, he looked so natural and looked so more comfortable that he was deadlier every time he had the ball. His speed to support the offense and coming back to support the defense was on point. Are we going to see a really proper center back duo or center back trio of, I would say, start Alexander Radovanovic, put Cascante and Leo Weissen, because Radovanovic had a great game against Seattle Sounders, seeing a few minutes, but if it's going to be Alex Ring, Josh Wolf is going to probably make him start against Chicago Fire. Because what exactly is Austin FC going to do with their offense or attack? Austin FC are going to probably line up Max Hiruti or Jazzy Zardes, but I could say start Zardes because he saw some minutes scored the game winner against Toronto FC, but he came off as a substitution player, so putting him against Chicago Fire would make sense. Give him some time, give him something to adapt in the US Open Cup, and now there's some of him for Max Cerruti. The wingers, is it going to be Rigoni or Diego Fagundes? I could say Diego Fagundes because he came off the bench against the game against Toronto FC. So Diego gets his minutes, put Rigoni on the bench or start him alongside him, but Rigoni will probably be on the right side, something he's not going to get used to or comfortable with since he's more deadly on the left side. But if that's the case, we put Rigoni at the bench, either start Rodney Redis or Ethan Finlay on the right side. Because also for Chicago Fire, they have scored 18 goals, but they have allowed 21 goals in the MLS season. 3 of these players have provided some support in the defense. Mauricio Pineda is a center back who has done 13 interceptions, but he's really good when it comes to aerial clearances, and that's a total of 8. So when it comes to our cross in the air, like a set piece and a free kick, corner kick, Mauricio Pineda will be right there to stop it. Federico Navarro, who's a player in the 6, has done 10 tackles, a passing rate of 83%, and 7 interceptions with Chicago Fire. And lastly, Rafael Sichos has done 86% of tackles, but his clearances is between half and half. 47 clearances, 21 near, and 26 on the ground. So whoever goes 1-1 against him, let's say Danny Pereira against Sichos, I think Sichos might win in this, because he's really good with ground clearances. But this is going to be a really fun match. Austin FC versus Chicago Fire, first time playing against in a really historical competition with the US Open Cup. Anything can happen because despite the way they play in the MLS, anything can happen in the Open Cup. It's a different beast. But I feel like Austin FC might get a narrow win against Chicago Fire. 3-2 score. Goals from Rigoni, another Zardes goal, and let's just say Danny Pereira gets on the score sheet. 3-2, Austin FC advances and plays the winner of either Houston Dynamo or Minnesota United. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's understandable. I'll be there at the game today. My name is Manila Mixon 17. I'll catch you guys on the next one.